One of the more successful and accessible metalcore outfits of the early 21st century, Avenged Sevenfold endured changes both stylistic and internal during their rise from teenage troublemakers to commercial success story. Part of the new wave of American heavy metal movement, they debuted in 2001 with Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, and maintained a pure metalcore aesthetic before adopting a more modern rock, heavy metal forward style on 2005's City of Evil. They broke into the mainstream in 2007 with the release of their eponymous fourth LP and continued to cast a spell both at home and abroad with subsequent efforts Nightmare in 2010, and Hail to the King in 2013 achieving gold and platinum status, and 2016's The Stage earning a Grammy nomination. However, here are the facts about Avenged Sevenfold. Zachy Vengeance says he never took a guitar lesson. Regardless of what anyone thinks of Avenged Sevenfold's music, no one can deny that Zachy Vengeance and Sinister Gates' guitar playing is impressive. The dual axemen sweep the melodies through their galloping riffs and lightning speed solos as they ensure that the guitar is the central instrument to every A7X song. While Gates studied different genres at Hollywood's Musicians Institute and learned a few tricks from his musician father, Brian Hayner, Vengeance doesn't have any formalized training. Vengeance added that he has never seen himself as one of the great guitar players, no matter how much praise he receives from others, stating that the reason he picked up his guitar in the first place was because of his love of music. Talk about being born with it. Why Brooks Wackerman left Bad Religion for A7X. It took a while after the Revs Passing for Avenged Sevenfold to decide on a permanent drummer. Aaron Illahai joined the band in 2011, but he was let go in 2015. Not long afterward, Bad Religion's Brooks Wackerman was announced as the new man behind the drum kit. It surprised many people in the music industry, especially since Wackerman had been with the legendary punk band for 14 years when he quit to join A7X. In a conversation with Drum Magazine, Wackerman revealed the simple and highly relatable reason. At the time when the Avenged guys asked me to join, I was looking for a different style, or at least a new adventure, he said. They were familiar with my work, so I was honored they even asked me. Wackerman added that his drum idols were all hard rock and metal drummers, so joining Avenged Sevenfold was something of a return to his roots. He might have made a name for himself in the punk scene, but metal was always number one in his heart. Avenged Sevenfold wanted to break up after the Reverend passing. In December 2009, Avenged Sevenfold's drummer and backing vocalist Jimmy the Reverend Sullivan passed away from an accidental overdose, as per a Rolling Stone report. At 28 years of age, the Rev's untimely death shocked his family and friends as his musical career was only getting started, and it ended so abruptly. For his bandmates, it almost proved to be too much as they contemplated closing the chapter on A7X once and for all. After Jimmy died, we were fucking done, Sinister Gates told Kerrang! For the first week, we were done. We all sat down and said, we gotta throw in the towel without Jimmy, there is no Avenged Sevenfold. But when we sat and talked with Jimmy's family, they were like, you guys have gotta do this. He added that the Sullivan family encouraged the band to continue since they believed it would be something that the Reverend would have wanted them to do. Gates revealed that it was difficult to do so initially, but the band was glad that the people around them pushed them forward. Warner Brothers sued the band. For over 10 years, Avenged Sevenfold called Warner Brothers their home. The band released 4 albums: City of Evil, Avenged Sevenfold, Nightmare and Hail to the King, claiming 2 Billboard 200 chart-topping records in this period. Somewhere along the line, though, the relationship soured, and A7X informed Warner Brothers that they would not be working with the label any further at the end of 2015. So what did the execs do? Did they reach out to one of their most successful rock acts and try to resolve the issue in an amicable way? They sued the band as per an exclusive Billboard news report. According to a statement released by Avenged Sevenfold's attorney Howard E. King, the band wanted to use the 7-year statute law to terminate their deal with Warner Brothers. The group cited that there had been many changes at the label since they had signed, and they no longer had a relationship with the A&R personnel. The lawsuit went back and forth for several years. However, according to Johnny Christ's comments on his podcast Drinks with Johnny in 2020, it appears as if Avenged Sevenfold is back at Warner Brothers once again. The band thought it was weird that they appeared on TRL. There was a time when the M in MTV stood for music, and the channel actually played music and featured bands. One of the most popular shows on MTV at the time was Total Request Live or TRL, where the most requested music videos by fans would be played on air. Initially hosted by Carson Daly, it was a big deal to get featured on TRL, and it helped legitimize many bands in the mainstream's eyes. By 2005, it was almost unheard of for heavier bands to feature on the show, as the top hits of the year were more of the poppier or R&B variety. So imagine how Avenged Sevenfold must have felt when Bat Country flapped its way to the top of the TRL charts. Speaking to MTV, M Shadows admitted it was a strange feeling. When we even heard that we were being announced on TRL, I think we were just like, that's kinda weird, he said. But it was a decision we had to make. Do we want to go that route and do that? But it's a very tough market to sell CDs and get people to hear you, so we were just excited to be number one. TRL disappeared from MTV in 2008.